I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem Racha HaKwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren, your fellow believers of this truth, that is faith of this ministry, and shalom to the elect. Anyway, I ran across this on, when I woke up this morning, I kind of look at the news here or there, and I saw this one called, I'll say the word clipping children at birth, as seen on social media in 2025. So sometimes these, we're just watchmen. Sometimes these articles, they may actually be planned, right? But then there's things that change, so it doesn't fully come out. But I also read in this article that they're kind of saying that these things are already in play, but they haven't been fully exposed to the public, right? So before I get started as well, there was the reason why I'm doing this video as well, maybe about 35 years ago, I was working in the shop, in his auto shop, and the owner, he was part owner of the shop. He was actually working for the government at the time, and he would take his time and come down there. And I remember, I was like 20 years old. I remember, and I knew about it then, right? So we was talking about it, and I remember that he was actually saying this right here. In the next 20 or 30 years, he was talking about. So I said, wow, this is, I didn't just look at this article and say, okay, and we bring it out anyway, but I remember him telling me that. He told like 6 or 7 of us that is their plan. And he worked for them, and he was in the high division, right? But anyway, clipping children at birth. It says, having your child clipped, they even got a program called the Chyped Children program, but it's not supposed to be so-called for that. They acronymed it after something else. I actually have it right here. It's titled Children's Health Program, CHIP. Provides low-cost health coverage to children, families that earn too much money to qualify for Medicaid, right? And I remember a few years back, I was always wondering why they don't give us jakes. We make a lot of money. Some of us are athletes and legends in the sports and arenas and music, and they don't give us anything but things that, benefit the system. And I saw that Michael Jordan, he's opening up clinics for children, to help the children or to help the neighbors, the community. Yeah, it's always got to be a face, right? But anyway, let's go back to the article. Having your children clipped can make a lot of difference looking for and trying to identify a missing child. Since April 2000, it says April 2020 or 2025, it has been, it's supposed to be 20, it has been legal requirement for all children to be clipped by 8 weeks of age. In 2020, the Children's Trust record that 9,000 lost children were reunited with their parents due to being clipped with the up-to-date details. Each clip has a unique number that must be registered with the government approved database, along with information about your child, you as its parents. And we know they were doing this with pets, and years ago this is nothing new. Back in the 90s, I even heard in the 60s they were doing it with cattle and certain things. And I'm sure they do it with the little mice when they were doing testing on them, right? So we know what the GOY means, right? But anyway, if your child is not registered on one of these databases, you can be fined. It is important that the information is kept up to date so that your child does not go missing. So when you go into how this all works, let me go to 2 Corinthians and I'll get the details on how this works. not so much how it works, but the trickery. Second Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, we're not ignorant of his designs, or we could say his devices. Let's go into the Strong's and see what it is. Say what it says there. His schemes, the purpose, or the intellect, disposition of itself. Right. When you look at the what they call that, the draft with the selective service, you're supposed to sign up for it at the time of 18. That's a court ordered thing, and it's not necessarily that you have to sign up for it. It's just that you won't get benefits of the government program if you don't. They don't tell you all that. They tell you must. And when I was living with some lady in foster care, when I turned 18, she said, sign up or they'll lock you up. Right? So I didn't know. But you know what they're doing now with these distractions, with Diddy and all these things is happening. They've now passed laws, and I looked this up. You can look it up. They've passed laws where when you go to get your driver's license, the young men, when they get their driver's license, it's all in there. So they're signing up and don't even know it because they sign in all these papers. But the public doesn't know because nobody's saying nothing, and you're so happy to get your permit, your driver's license, you don't worry. You just go ahead and sign up. And the only way to get an exemption, what is it called for the exemption? It was a while ago that I went through that. It's called to be exempt from draft. Something. I can't remember it. Let's see what it says. Conscientious objector, right? So there's certain, like Jehovah's Witnesses, they wouldn't go. So-called black Hebrew Israelites, no, you know damn well they ain't taking us, but they're going to find ways to implement us. And if you're not, Revelation 2 and 10, right? So it's all, it's all showing. And this, as I was reading, is something called Order Abkeo, which I heard Apostle Ramlab go into a lot. What is Order of KO, which a lot of us should know, but I'm going to put it in here anyway. What is Ordo ab KO, right? Which is Order out of Chaos, but I'll read it. Order ab KO is a Latin. Let me go on down. They have several definitions of it. I mean, this is one main definition. What does it mean? The phrase, basically, I don't see it here. Basically, is to bring order out of chaos, right? Order of chaos. Let me see this. The word chaos is a term given to any order to thing to produce confusion in our minds. Right, and that's what they do. They bring on it. This thing that happened a couple of years ago, everybody know what happened. That's what that was all about. We can feel it in many levels of personal organization, even professionally. Usually it is used as an epithet. This place is in chaos. Hardly anyone ever celebrates the antithesis of that situation. Out of chaos comes order. Perhaps we should define these two terms more clearly to determine what we are looking for. For example, chaos and noun, it describes a state or utter confusion or disorder, total lack of organization of order, and confused, disorderly mass of things to be sorted out. So basically, if you want to bring order, you have to bring chaos. When the chaos comes, nobody can really band together. That's where they get that, what do they call that? When people fight one another, and then, when we talk about so-called black, so-called white, and when you have that fighting and all that going on, then you want to bring order out of it. That divide and conquer tactic was, I believe when I was reading that, they go back to Rome was doing that. Let's go to Revelation 13. I got another translation, God's Word translation. All right, let's see what it says. Revelation 13 and... Okay, where am I at? 13 is... Well, we all should know this one. 13 and 16, it says, the second beast forces all people, important and unimportant people. So, you had Israelite groups talking about, well, it's for big nations and little nations. Come on, man. Nations is people. Right? Rich and poor. Free people and slaves to be branded on their right hand or their forehead. Right? So really, when you look at it, you might say, well, why, if the Lord loves the little children, why would he allow that to happen to them? Well, let's go to John the 9th chapter. But let's go on. And it does this so that no man may buy or sell unless his brand, he has the brand which tells you. And they ain't talking about Ezekiel 9:4, mark of exemption, or was it Romans 13, when it talks about mark them that cause division, Romans 11, I think. This is a different mark. This is a brand, which is in the beast hand, the number of his name, right? And you had branding in the past, but this brand is a one that where you can't buy or sell or whatever. Let me see, mark them. I know it's in Romans 11 or 16, Romans 16, right? So you mark them. Right here. It says, rich people, free people, slaves are branded in a right on forehead, and it does this so no one may buy or sell unless the brand, which is the beast of the name of the number, is his name. This situation, wisdom is needed. Let the person who has insight figure out the number of the beast, because it is the human number. The beast number is 666, right? So at the end of the day, let me go on back. At the end of the day, man, this is all prophecy. This is all prophecy being played out. This is going on back. It said it is also recommended to record the loss of theft of your child online, using sites that dedicated to find lost and stolen children. See, it would be, they're not going to just say, here, take this and you have to do it. The force comes into backing you into the corner, and then you accepting it. And this is why they're hooking up these athletes and these high figures. They're going to use them to make it cool, and if you don't fit in, look at the society. You know why people drive fast? You know why people talk about you got to keep up, things are moving fast, and they cut you off, right? They're running in stores and running out because everybody's moving fast, and when you're moving fast, you're not thinking. I got to get the next iPhone, I got to get this, I got to get that, and everybody's consumed with digital technology. And they've literally turned themselves into some form of android. Half the people don't even know their own parents' phone number. Or anything. They all relying on technology, which breeds slavery. Right? Freedom breeds slavery. This is what we talk about. There has to be some form of order. So when we go into my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, that's it. We're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So anyway, I just wanted to, I probably had other scriptures and things. I just wanted to, well, my mind was, you go through the Spirit, and some things work and some things don't. You just keep it moving. You just go through the Spirit, But we could clearly see that It says here, just to be clear about the genesis of this note, I replaced the word dog with child and made one or two other minor changes to flow from the text themes Valley Police so that it's made sense. Do you know here in Maryland, you don't even need an actual driver's license no more. You just use your cell phone. This is where it's going, and it's a slow introduction. And now nothing happens fast. It's got to be slow, like a frog boiling in the water. Right? So I think this is a credible source. Some aren't, but I think this is. This was produced in April 2018 at 12:09 p.m. Anyway, that's all I have on that show.